Today is Sunday. It's May 3rd. Yes, and we're just hanging out on the front porch. I've brought home some celery microgreens from the community garden, and just thought I'd show you around. See what's new. Flower bed is looking great. Our elm seeds are, well, we have a couple of Siberian elms and they're just popping off seeds everywhere. So, I'm sure that, like, some of these will turn into trees, which is not where I want a tree, but that's what happens. Transplanted a bunch of celery onto this mound. We've got a lot of little stuff coming up. Kale, got red amaranth. A couple of beans and sunflowers popping up. Not too much out here yet, though. Although our sagebrush is looking very lovely. It's probably going to bloom in the next week or two. Just one of my favorite parts of spring. Little lettuce corner. It's looking like lettuce. The funnel has just doubled in size in the last couple days. It's exciting. Another exciting development. We have got strawberry blossoms on at least one of the plants. And my radishes are so delicious that even the neighbor critters can't help but have a bite. Let's see. Comfrey plants, all three of them I've seen so far. More or less okay. Over in this bed in the front, we've got lamb's ear, lots of yarrow, a bunch of things that I'm not totally sure what we planted. I'll have to look at my notes, but put in some pansies, and just today I transferred some, I'm pretty sure this is bee balm. We'll come back, see how it does. Obviously, a little transplant shock. And catnip's doing very good. Really great. What's up? Just making a video. Yeah, my weekly garden update. Just seeing what's good and what's delicious. Well, I've been doing some weeding in this corner. envisioning a future structure for like wood chip pathway. We've really been sprinkled heavy petals and a lot of elm seeds. But the kale, the arugula are so joyous. And we've got some, I thought this was tatsoi. It's a different kind of mustard. I can't remember the name right now. This lettuce is also doing, they're all doing very well. Got my mixed greens corner here that I cannot thin fast enough. And then adjacent we've got some peas, some radishes that I just planted, a couple of elderberry cuttings. We'll see what takes and what doesn't, but this is most appreciated. Got kale and spinach, a couple of buckwheat plants, and underneath the spinach it would seem that I've got some tulsi just tucked underneath. And some volunteer squash. Who knows what it is? I will be excited to find out. I've been coming out here every day and just taking what leaves I need for lunch and dinner, or breakfast and lunch. This week I've planted a bunch of corn and beans and squash, which obviously being planted 3 days ago, nothing's up yet, but in the meantime, got a lot of really lovely spring crops to look at. So the highlight of this week is that we have recently acquired 100-foot hose. So now pretty much everything can get reached from the spigot, which is excellent. My children. Got chestnuts. Got about 2 dozen chestnuts in this shopping basket, along with quite a bit of lemon balm and calendula, and a couple of radishes that I definitely did not plant in there, but they're there. And over here we've got peaches, a couple of oaks, and what are probably, this looks like a chestnut to me. Not really sure. Yeah, so that's the tree nursery. Over here around our outdoor kitchen, dining room, we've got my tiny nursery. Got some sunflowers and corn popping up. And that's it so far. But I've got beans and squash and sunflowers, tulsi, tobacco, all in this little zone that I can cover over if it gets cold. Over here, goodness, there's a lot of traffic noise today. Over here we've got potato bucket number 1, which is probably ready to have some material added to it, which I have got right here. I'll just start slowly adding compost and wood chips to this to hill up around the plants. And we'll just keep doing that over the season. And maybe we'll get some potatoes out of, if not this bucket, perhaps buckets number 2 or 3. Garlic's looking good. As are the elderberry cuttings that I got from on campus previously, rooted, put in the ground. Thyme, some lavender, got our back garden here. We'll go take a walk around the racetrack. Really, the best. Like, I love kale, and this beautiful yellow fluorescence has just increased my appreciation for this plant. We've planted a bunch of things back here that haven't popped up yet. Radishes, several perennial herbs. We've got skullcap that isn't up yet. Got some small things that are popping up that I can't. Well, that's definitely a potato. But we'll just have to come back next week and see what's actually a plant that I planted and what's extra. But we'll have some radishes and potatoes popping up here soon. Mung beans. Today I planted, yes, forgot about this. Planted some soybeans earlier today. These have been soaked overnight in water. And I've just planted them all along back in here. Is sort of like a summer crop, cover crop, something like that. Got some tiny green guys, probably. I want to say beets, but it could be chard. Anyway, so that's the back. Not a huge amount of change back here, but the blooming kale has been very delightful. Flipped the compost today, and back here I've got a lot of cover crops that I planted from the garden. It's all flax and quinoa, lentils. Let's zoom in. Because underneath all of this spring growth, we've got some tulsi getting ready for summer with a little coverage. It's just this very soft, tiny forest. And we've got a companion animal here, just come to scope us out. It's my neighbor's bed. Everything is just, let's see if I can. Got some tiny, it's all just seedlings at this point. Basil, a couple of volunteer squash from compost pile. Some volunteer onions, which we also found in the compost pile. Got a baby bed. My upstairs neighbor. A little bit of chard has popped up. Not much else. Probably time to replant. A lot of the seeds we've planted have just been very old seeds. So, we'll see. Anyways, that pretty much brings us around. Sages. Arugula are popping up. Grocery store. Basil. Pretty basic. But that's our update for the week.